Hello.
I'm testing to make sure the internet can see us with
Yep.
my mobile device here.
All right. We are live officially, but there probably a bunch of that, was
Okay, yeah. My phone just
Picked
gave me a
up because
notification and it
who
won't
knows?
play it at the same time. Awesome. Oh, yeah, I see us. So I guess we are live.
Yes, we are live.
Can you hear us? If anybody's out there, give us a shout on the comments.
On the comments. No, yeah, honestly.
I mean,
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a belated edition of the Just Two Marks Wrestling Recap Show. I am the Athletic Geek, and I'm joined once again by Jedi Jason Kruger. It's a belated edition. Some real world conflicts going on. Or I shouldn't say conflicts, but just real world obligations going on. Anyway, hey, we have a chatter already. All right.
wow.
What the actual fuck?
Hey! How's it going, the kid?
Oh, okay. Good to see you. Thanks for coming. Yeah, my time.
Technical difficulties.
Not even words there, folks. Not even words. We're gonna. We have a lot
intro.
to talk about.
Yes, but intro.
Intro.
Have you seen this show before?
If you haven't, this is the Just Too Much Wrestling Recap Show. Jedi and I have been watching wrestling together for over 15 years. We love watching wrestling. We love sharing our love of professional wrestling with other passionate wrestling fans. However, our opinions are just like each and every one of yours. We're not any better than you. We're not insiders. We avoid insider terms because we haven't earned the right to use those things because we're not wrestlers, not insiders. At the end of the day, we are just two marks. And yeah, big week. Lots of stuff. SummerSlam, TakeOver, G1 Climax. And I look like shit because I forgot to put on a hat. But it's okay.
I'm my normal post-work, post-children, post-bedtime self.
Well, that's also because today this was a post-work day for me. As well.
Yeah. So we're good and all mentally acute and all that good stuff.
So, first thing we're going to talk about, because I know there's not really a lot of discussion there, big news out of New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yes.
Kota Ibushi won the G1 Climax, defeating Shotbro. He's the knife pivot. Jay White. He was in the finals. He ruined it for Naito. And then Shotbro, Knife Pivot, had one of the best matches Knife Pivot ever had, even though he's still Knife Pivot, Shotbro. So, but he lost to Kota Ibushi. And Kota Ibushi will challenge, unless he loses the briefcase, to any of the people that defeated him on the way to the G1 Climax win. He will challenge the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, whoever that may be, Okada, on January 4th in the Tokyo Dome. So, while I'm devastated...
Signing your name on the dotted line does for that win. Anyway.
So while I'm devastated that this was probably the beginning of the end of any kind of IWGP Heavyweight Championship hopes for Tetsuya Naito, I'm still happy for Ibushi, but... my reality sets in pretty quickly that, I don't think he's going to beat Okada. But still, yay Ibushi! Yay Ibushi! I am completely heterosexual, but he is a very pretty man. I want to put that out for the record. And, damn it, I hope Ibushi wins. Fuck yeah, Ibushi.
I always feel like...
I wouldn't mind if he lost the briefcase to Tetsuya Naito, but fuck yeah, Ibushi! He's earned this. He's been, now that he's finally signed his name on that contract, he's good to go.
Shock, right? Yeah. So, yes, Ibushi won the G1.
And also, and good, we brought that up, there is a new member of the Bullet Club, and it is Kenta.
Yeah, yep.
And Shibata got a little physical, which cue the speculation that Shibata may be returning to the ring for one more match. I don't think so, but you never know.
Right.
And so there's that as well.
So TakeOver was great, as TakeOvers usually are.
Yes, but I'm going to say something that...
I might agree with you. We'll see. Go ahead.
I did not like the ending of Cole and Gargano. like, this, they kind of raised Gargano's hand afterwards, signifying, off air, signifying that he's probably main roster bound. However,
Mm-hmm.
an ending like that to me is more of a, we still got some story left to tell, and there's still another big match to be had
Mm-hmm.
type of ending. Not a, well, this guy's going to the main roster.
Yeah, I think I heard the rumor and innuendo with the recent tapings that he's might still be on NXT.
Yeah.
I realize that just because they filmed it doesn't mean they'll actually use it. Card's subject to change. So
Well, they literally,
That's
when
still-
he lost the North American title, they literally filmed 2 endings.
so
Just so
exactly.
no one could know what would
Exactly.
happen.
So you never know. You can still call it rumor and innuendo until it airs. Cause
So, yeah, thanks for coming, Ray. It's to you. But also, the other thing I want to
Brian
point out...
Albert Gargano, I believe it. Or,
The other thing I want to point out about NXT is when you go to a takeover, the dark matches before takeover begins are the tapings for the next week of NXT TV.
right.
And the NXT,
But they usually don't involve the competitors of the
no,
takeover, right?
but they tape those beforehand.
Right.
When I went to takeover in New York, I missed it because I was at Rev Pro.
Right.
Whatever, that's neither here nor there. But this time, I was very interested in the match. The NXT Breakout Tournament was won by my boy, and I don't mean boy like the OSW review people say, where it's like somebody who's not very good but you like, or doesn't have a lot of success. Like, even though he's from Texas and got his start in Texas, he did a lot of work right before he really broke out on the independent scene, got involved with Ring of Honor and whatnot in our area.
Yeah.
ACH won the NXT Breakout Tournament, or I'm sorry, Jordan Miles won the NXT Breakout Tournament, earning himself a title shot at any NXT title of his choosing. And I almost cried when I saw ACH win this match, because I've seen him come from nothing to now he's on the NXT roster.
Right.
If he challenges Adam Cole, I know the match will be awesome, because I saw it at a Ring of Honor event 30 minutes from my house once. So I know that Adam Cole and ACH are awesome together. But I'd rather him get a partner and go for the tag belts, or go for the North American title, because there's there's a small chance he'll win, rather than the no chance that he's beating Adam Cole.
True.
But still, it's really awesome to see. Not only has he been signed, but it seems like they're at least gonna use him on NXT. I mean, we've seen people we know get signed and never get used.
Right. Yeah, no kidding.
So, I mean, even though we saw the Future get signed to FCW and get released and then do something in the vein of Chris Benoit. So,
Yeah.
So, I mean, not
no choices.
to take anything to a downward turn, but I mean, that's... Of all the people that we went to, local church gyms and KC halls and armories to go watch, that's the only guy that's really gotten signed to WWE. We've had a few get signed with TNA, but that's the only guy we've seen get signed with WWE. And that's the ending of it. Now we see ACH, Jordan Miles, whatever you want to call it. He's getting an opportunity at championship.
Right.
And, well, I don't think he's going to be the man on NXT, at least not right away. He's at least not going to get lost in the shuffle,
Right.
it seems. At least not right now.
Yeah. He's on camera, so.
He's on camera, and he's winning. He's winning. So, yeah, I very, very... Before NXT TV aired, I filmed some drinking and gaming with JC, and some more revenge drinking and gaming, and I was a little intoxicated at that time, but it was the week the day before I'd find out the end of that match, or the few days before, so yeah, sincerely not intoxicated right now. Very, very proud of somebody who I've seen turn into a bona fide indie star right in front of my eyes in the O'Fallon, Illinois.
Right.
Knights of Columbus Hall, the Alton, Illinois. Knights of Columbus Hall, and randomly hearing about him being in the Alton, Illinois Knights of Columbus Hall. There's also a lot of Knights of Columbus Halls.
Yep.
And
AC halls and armories.
Yep.
And gymnasiums. Church gymnasiums.
And, you know, basically getting a bunch of people together and driving 2 hours spontaneously to see him wrestle and that and something like that because we heard he was in town. So, very, very proud of ACH or Jordan Miles and what he is able to represent for this area and represent for what we've seen. I haven't really seen a wrestler really grow in front of us except for him.
Right.
And yeah, I hope he has a good WWE career. I hope he isn't one of them where like, what the fuck are you doing with him? I really hope that he gets everything that he's capable of getting.
Right.
I'm not going to say he needs... even though I want more than anything for him to win the title at WrestleMania and make millions of dollars, I hope he gets at least everything that he's capable of getting.
Right.
So.
Obviously, the main event, of NXT TakeOver Watch. But if you're not watching the whole thing, go out of your way to see the tag match that opened it.
Oh, yes! So Adam Cole is the only one with flying in the face of my predictions. Adam Cole is the only one with the championship now, and you wonder how that's going to play into the Undisputed Era going forward.
Right.
The rumor and innuendo is that Roddy is 205 Live bound.
So weird. I don't think of him as a cruiserweight.
I don't think of him as a cruiserweight, but I also recognize that as much as I like Roderick Strong, he does not have the charisma to carry anything other than that.
I know.
But
it's not changed since the ROH days. I mean, it just hasn't, No. In between the ropes with those freaking knees of his, it's amazing to watch,
He's a power wrestler that's a small guy, and that's awesome. His interviews are terrible. There are 2 Roderick Strong interviews since we're on the subject.
Back in the day, they had something called managers to deal with this.
Yep. But there are 2 interviews from Ring of Honor that just really signify just how bad. For every bit as great as he is on the wrestling side, he's terrible on the interview side. There was one from 2007. He's in a feud with Delirious, and Delirious interfered in his match and something. And he does the interview. He's like, Delirious, you can interfere in my match again? It's almost like you're obsessed with me. That's kind of weird. I don't swing that way. But if you get involved in my business again, there's going to be hell to pay, Delirious. It's something along those lines. And then there's another one where he started off by going, I told you last week that this week I'd tell you.
Nice.
And then the other one is, and it was right as Ring of Honor got bought by Sinclair and had television. It was when he was in the midst of his feud with Davey Richards, and Davey just won the Ring of Honor title. Davey, who's not fucking Mick Foley on the mic either, was doing an interview about how, there are all his struggles, and everything he's gone through, paying his, live with his grandparents and, all the struggles of, his mom not being there for him and him living on a farm with his grandparents and learning discipline through amateur wrestling and this, that, and the other. How this is him becoming the champion is the culmination of all that, and that represents, him finally being able to prove, that all the hard work is worth it, and this, that, and the other, which, not great, but still very, very, okay, I can buy this. And then it goes to Roderick Strong, and I get it, he's trying to be a villain. And it cuts to Roderick Strong, he's like, I want to be the champion because it shows that I'm the shit. And it's, literally, that's what because it means that I'm the shit. And then it means that I get I get laid with all the ladies out there. And the best thing that's going to happen is it's going to make Davey mad. My favorite hobby.
Wow.
These are all things that were said, and he hasn't gotten any better. His favorite thing is it's going to make Davey mad. So, yeah.
Also, Evil Io Shirai versus Candice LeRae was pretty good.
It was damn good. Roderick Strong was good.
Mm-hmm.
With Velveteen Dream and
Pete Dunne.
I like
the ending.
In the ring, you ain't gonna go wrong with those three guys. So yeah, Takeover's really good. SummerSlam was surprising. It was good, not great.
Yeah.
Looking at it with a critical eye, which I know sometimes is the detriment of any wrestling fans trying to be too fucking critical, but with looking at it like that, it was a good show, not a great show. Sure. But when you're used to getting fed shit from the WWE main roster, you're welcome good.
Yeah.
Good is good.
I was in a good mood, so I really enjoyed that.
I thought that Ricochet and AJ was good, and that's kind of surprising. Like, and I don't even.
You know what I loved about Ricochet versus AJ?
Nightwing attire.
Well, yes, that too. Also, non-insider terms. The consistency of Ricochet pretending he had an injured leg throughout the whole match. The whole match. To the point where he compensated and did a springboard off one leg, holding the other in the air at one point, doing a move.
Yes.
The whole time he was convincing me his leg was hurt. You know,
yes.
And you never, Rollins.
Yeah. The one thing I want to point out, and I love AJ, I think that because AJ's in the WWE, he gets unfairly criticized by this community. People want to praise their Omegas and their Okadas, and rightfully so, and the Bushis and all the Japanese guys and all the independent guys. And if you're just even in the WWE on the main roster, they're just kind of like, oh, you're not that good. And sometimes rightfully so, but I'm still very much think that AJ's in the top 10, maybe even top 5 best in the world right now. And if you disagree with me, Internet, you can suck it.
Well,
this is the one time I'll become an asshole. If you're one just to judge him because he's in the WWE, you can seriously blow me right now.
I actually didn't even think to address that, but I did see that.
Yes, we will get to that. That's the biggest news. He's gonna throw those deadly kicks, and he just recently wrestled Scott Steiner at Bar Wrestling.
Really?
Yes, it was awesome. Anyway.
Can't get enough.
The one downside of AJ is AJ in the WWE, with the exception of the Bryan match at TLC, in my opinion, with the exception of the Bryan match at TLC, all of his best matches have been with the people where you wouldn't think he'd have as good of matches with.
Right.
When he comes with Jericho, and it's good, not great. He wrestles Roman, and it's better than he thought it would be. He wrestles Cena, and it's probably some of the best work that any guys have ever done. He wrestles Shane. It steals fucking WrestleMania.
Yeah.
It steals the show there.
He wrestles Owens 100 times.
Wrestles Owens, and they suck together. He wrestles Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal, and it's the best Jinder's ever going to look. He did the best play with... He wrestles Brock Lesnar, and it was
holy moly,
the second best match of 2017. Yes, it was better than 2 of the 3 Okada Omega matches. Blow me again.
Okay. Continue.
Yeah. It was better than 2 of the Okada Omega matches. I don't give a shit. But he goes on. He wrestles Shinsuke Nakamura, he wrestles
Samoa Joe,
and you know it could be good, but it's not. And then he goes and wrestles Daniel Bryan, with the exception of the TLC match. Royal Rumble wasn't that good. I forgot about Finn Balor. Finn Balor did live up to the hype.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Balor. Yeah.
And then wrestles Randy.
That was out of nowhere, practically.
Wrestles Randy Orton, and I'm bored to death of Randy Orton, but it was probably
that was
second or third best match on WrestleMania.
I eat that one up. Yep.
So that's pretty much the match with Rollins was good, but not what you thought. Good, not great.
Considering I almost expected it to be the first of a series.
Yeah.
It was definitely the good opener to a series.
Yeah, I thought it was a good opener to a series, and then
Baron Court. And then Baron Court.
Trust me, it's hard for me to defend Seth Rollins with how much of an ass he's made out of himself lately, but...
Speaking of Seth Rollins...
At least, nobody's going to draw any money with Baron Corbin.
Right.
But when they brought in Ricochet to have a storyline, all this build-up was to talk about this. When they bring in Ricochet to have this storyline with AJ Styles, I remember kind of thinking, oh boy. Because... when you don't expect AJ to be AJ, he's the AJ Styles we knew from 2006, 2005, 2006. When we expect AJ to be AJ, you're kind of left going, huh? So...
yeah, it does seem that way. It's like... yeah.
But with Ricochet... We're seeing independent AJ Styles. We're seeing New Japan AJ Styles. Yeah. And it's awesome. The only downside is he's not World's Champion.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's only one more thing left for AJ Styles to do, and I don't know if he's going to get to do it or not, but he deserves a WrestleMania main event.
Yeah.
And I've kind of done fan fiction myself into a corner with what I expected of the OC, but... you put that fucking title on him, you have him lose the U.S. title to Ricochet eventually, and have him go after Rollins, you have a better WrestleMania main event on your hands. And...
on the other hand, I don't know if he's interested in being the world champion, because I believe he was ready to have more time off. And when you're world champion, you just don't get as much time off.
True, but I think if you're going to go, AJ, we're going to let you main event WrestleMania, I think he might kind of go... I can do one.
Right.
I mean, I think anybody go, I can do one more. I can get one more. I'm not saying he loses at WrestleMania and then goes back into the same role he's in.
Yeah.
But let him have this one. If I ain't going to get fucking Naito leaving the Tokyo Dome as IWGP champion, you could at least let fucking AJ walk into the main event at WrestleMania. Food for thought. But
that match was great. Most of the others were good,
The first two parts of the Goldberg-Ziggler match had me at least somewhat excited. When he hit the super kick, I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go, Ziggler! Let's go, buddy! One count. Oh, he's fucked.
Yeah.
He's fucked.
I just laughed when he kicked out of a one count twice. I was like, yeah, that's about right. The writing's on the wall.
Yeah.
And then I cackled hilariously when he just kept getting back on the microphone. I was like, I'm not done with you yet. It's like,
see, that was the one part of the pay-per-view I didn't like.
Oh, yeah?
Because, to me, this was all where's this going?
Yeah,
I was hoping...
He kept on with it.
He kept on with it. I'm like, please, pull out brass knucks and hit him in the balls and get something back on him, or have some people run out and fucking... do something, that was all set up for me and he's gonna get something back now. And he's gonna get something back now. Oh no, fuck Dolph Ziggler, because this goddamn fucking 55-year-old man needs to get one over on Dolph Ziggler. Because trust me, Dolph Ziggler's damaged goods. He's never gonna be the world's champion again. But
you had more faith than I did. I knew exactly what was gonna happen when it happened.
I didn't want to think that.
That's fair.
When he got back up, I'm like, when he got back up, I was given that much hope. Is something gonna happen? And I'm not saying that Ziggler's any better than anybody else. I mean, Brock Lesnar was fucking squashed by Goldberg.
Yep.
But it's just kind of how much more shit do we need to give these motherfucking 50-year-olds? And I'm not one of these fucking internet people if you're over fucking 40, you shouldn't even be in the ring anymore. Fucking why don't we give all the belts to somebody from NXT? As much as I love NXT, I'm not the extremist that's the internet. But, fuck! I'm not even mad that Goldberg won the match, but it's when is this fucking shit gonna end? You want to know why you don't make any new fucking stars? You want to know why people are selling out the 2 TV tapings for AEW? It's because AEW has a couple veterans that are being used to look good or make other people look good. Okay? Christ almighty. Because
I mean,
what's going to happen in 10 years when Goldberg can't wrestle anymore, but you've used him to squash the whole entire fucking goddamn roster?
I like how you think it's going to be a number of years before Goldberg can't wrestle.
Yeah.
All those people out there that want to say Roman can't wrestle. Look at Goldberg. Look at his moveset. Tell me.
Roman is just terrible as a good guy.
Yeah.
If he's not a silent enforcer or a villain, he's not that good. And don't at me, you know I'm fucking right. It's Saturday, I'm a little more fired up today. Not quite as
Randy Orton. Has he ever been good as a good guy?
No.
Not ever.
And back to what I said a number of weeks ago about Roman. The more and more they force feed him, the more and more they ruin his ability to be a good player in the future.
Yep. Well, at least they haven't given him belt back. They are doing other things, you know. I mean, I actually had somebody at work that watches talk about Buddy Murphy accusing Rowan of driving the forklift, and they said he did it for Brian. He did it for the planet.
That's good. That's good. Oh, fuck. A little warm today. I'm not able to hold on to my phone.
So, anyway, there's a joke of the week.
The Fiend.
That
was great.
It was amazing.
I don't care. Like, you know what? For all the shit that I probably gave Firefly Funhouse at the beginning, this payoff was awesome, and I hope they keep it up. The Fiend could make some money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all for it.
It seems like right now they got their finger on the pulse correctly. You know, like he wasn't on the shows this week. You know, they said they're gonna. I know.
I lightly tap on wood because I don't want to make all the figures fall.
You know what's
I don't want
funny is
another
I was
superstar
watching
shakeup.
all of my rumor and innuendo shows, you know, and they were all freaking out. Oh, the Fiend's not on TV. What if they got cold feet? And they're like, oh no, the reports say that they're just trying to use him sparingly to keep the mystique. And I'm like, yeah,
that's brilliant.
Let's jump in the shark and just take a breath, you know.
Right.
Let's not cry foul until it happens, you know, for now. But yeah, the Fiend. Can't say enough good things about that. That was
awesome. It was well done. Let's get into Raw. I mean, we've been kind of...
one more thing. I mean, Rollins versus Lesnar was better than I ever expected it to be. I was literally...
I'm glad Rollins still won, even though, like, he's kind of the friend that's kind of making you ashamed to be his friend right now.
I understand. But from an in-ring perspective, like, compared to WrestleMania, which was just a gimmick at the beginning of the show...
It was still a good match. I mean, like, even though, like, everything about it was still a good match. I'm not gonna...
I get that, but the story was more satisfying in this one, I would say. You know, the other one, it's like, oh, yay! You know, like, I mean, bitch can't do that again. And, and this time he's like, look,
the one thing that I thought was funny about the WrestleMania match, and if I've told the story on a past show, I apologize. Me and friend Charlie, we were in the Charles in Charge, who's been on the show before. We were kind of in line, and we were speculating, like, I wonder what match is going to be first. I wonder what match is going to be first. You know, do you think it'll be AJ and Orton? Do you think it'll be this? Do you think it'll be that? And we're kind of just speculating. And then Paul Heyman comes out and says, we're not going to be on last. We're going to be for essentially Ricky Bobby's, and says, Jane first, last.
Right.
And then we see Brock Lesnar, and I just kind of text him like, well... we were all wrong, weren't we? You're talking with other people in line, people from all over the world, people from England, from Australia, from, you know, all across the United States, going like, we're all having our conversation. None of us thought it was going to be this match.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Yeah. So, but anyway, yeah, it was a really good match, so I enjoyed it. Alright, so on to Raw. So, obviously Rollins come out, woo, I got the belt. And Styles is like, champion versus champion, because, you know, I want 2 belts. I don't think it was for the title, though, was it?
No, it was just champion versus champion.
Just bragging rights, essentially. Slash, you know, it was New Japan mentality. If he'd pinned him, getting a title. But anyway.
But this isn't New Japan mentality.
I know. I don't know why I bothered to throw that out there. Samoa Joe acted like he was going to turn heel, but then he blamed the fans for having the audacity to believe that he could be involved in something as heinous as attacking Roman, the same guy who last year broke into AJ Styles' house and threatened his wife. Yep. Sure. Whatever.
They do not know how to use Samoa Joe. The main roster does not get Samoa Joe.
The man puts his heart and soul into all this crap they give him, but it's not enough. I mean, it's too much.
I like Joe.
Oh, man.
I like
Joe versus Lesnar. That was the pinnacle on the main roster. Bad. Oh, when they actually did the match, yeah. I meant the build-up.
The build-up was
match,
great. Yeah. But, we've both been watching Joe for a number of years. I know Joe was your guy for a little while.
Good grief, yeah.
I always really liked Joe. There was always, to me, something missing with Joe that made him one of my all-time favorites. Now,
Fair.
I really like Joe. Go off on another tangent here real quickly. I paid for him and what would become Jedi's wife because I was so desperate to meet Samoa Joe because I did really like him a lot. I paid for all their gas and their dinner and everything for us to go to for a 2-hour
far away. Yeah,
it was only a couple hours.
I think you got to remember at that time I was working overnight, so I was permanently exhausted. So the idea of driving that far was like, what?
Yeah.
So plus I met him at the. So
which is why I said
that's why you had to you had to bribe me into it.
I'm like, I will pay for everything.
I got to see a pay-per-view at a sports bar. That was a new experience.
We went to go meet TNA champion Samoa. I wanted to meet him so badly. Even though he was not my favorite guy, I still really wanted to meet him. I paid for both him and his fiancée at the time's dinner and mine, all of their gas, and just all of that. Yeah, I was doing this just because I wanted to. What was normally a $20 meet and greet turned into probably at least $100 for me. But still, I really want to do it. So I don't dislike Joe. I started to emphasize that I am a Samoa Joe fan.
Right, but you don't have him in your top 10, but you're still a big Samoa Joe fan.
But there's still something just missing. Even on the main roster, there's just something missing that leads me to go this guy should be the champion.
No, I agree at this point. And
if they were to X Division Samoa Joe him, it'd be great, but it's not. It's too... The ship's kind of sailed on being able to do that. Yeah.
Although, I'm at one point we thought Bray Wyatt was unsalvageable, so...
Yeah, you never know.
That's a really hard reset.
Have Samoa Joe start doing a children's show.
Oh, jeez. Can't do the same thing twice. Miz Ziggler continued his whole weird thing. He tried to distract Miz, and then didn't work. He lost, and then he taunted him, and then got his ass beat some more, and...
Woo-hoo!
Don't know where we're going with this, but apparently it's a thing for his character now, so. Ricochet versus Elias. Ricochet won. My How the Mighty Have Fallen from a USA Championship match to fighting freaking Elias. But at least he won. At least he won.
Yeah. And hey, Elias got his first overnight champ.
Hold on. We're not
we're not there yet.
Going in order. 2 out of 3 falls match. Andrade shut Rey Mysterio down.
Yeah, this was... I don't know where they're going with Rey Mysterio, but...
Rey said afterwards, man, I don't know where I'm going from here. So
they're kind of doing this...
Happening.
Something's happening with Rey Mysterio doubting himself.
Cedric Alexander fought Drew McIntyre and looked darn well good doing it, even though Drew did have to kill him in the end. I mean,
It was still a good match.
Yes, it was a good match. And Cedric didn't look like,
Cedric is going to be the proverbial underdog.
Yeah, of course.
He's... I don't see them ever giving him the main event run.
No, probably
but
not.
I see him, kind of in that position where he's the spiry underdog that's eventually going to get the U.S. title or the Intercontinental title.
Mm-hmm. About the time Ricochet gets tired of it, goes on to the world title. But still, yes.
Or the 24/7 title, who knows?
Oh, jeez. Don't even. Speaking of the 24/7 title, I believe next. No, wait. Robert Roode beat No Way Jose. I don't know what to say about that.
They're not using Robert Roode,
exists.
No Way Jose still exists.
Also, yeah, confusingly. Lucha House Party versus The Revival, which turned into a big excuse for the 24/7 title to be held by The Revival. Co-champions for all 2 seconds before Truth took it back. And then Elias and that trusty guitar finally did something. And now he is the 24/7 champion.
Elias has finally held a belt.
Yes.
For longer than a day.
Yes.
So.
Now here's the question. Does he have the audacity to come out and do a performance while wearing the belt and be interrupted by half the roster?
Well, I mean.
A lot. Or will he just be hiding? Or does he even have it still because freaking YouTube videos? You never know.
You're not caught up yet.
You never know.
Oh, and here's this.
Real quick, we're going to, before I forget, because we said we talked about it later, but I feel like I'm going to forget. So, acknowledging what Ope the Kid said earlier on there. AEW officially signed Orange Cassidy, and that makes me stupid happy.
I like Orange
Precious
Cassidy.
squeezed. There is a place for comedy wrestling in AEW. I'll never be the same again after those devastating strikes. Why would you do that? So, how's it you put it? The answer to the question that no one asked is blue hair and villainous turns. Sasha Banks is back. She's evil and she's vying for Becky, which would be a heck of a lot more exciting than.
I actually, before, I've said a lot of bad things about Sasha Banks in the show, and I stand by it. Sasha Banks has a heroine character. Sucks.
Yes.
She has no career. She looks like Jedi's kids with the Barbie. Be a Rockstar playset dancing around. And I stand by all those comments. Everything that I've said about Sasha Banks, I stand by.
Her whole aura screams villain.
Yeah. But now she's at least
I never even saw her NXT villain run. And her aura screamed villain. I was like, how are you? It's like...
there were some times like, oh, hey, Charlotte's worse than her.
I mean,
but
Charlotte's
still
got her daddy's talent for being a villain. Right. So
I feel like this, they're going to have good matches because Sasha is still good in the ring. My big gripe against
Sasha... This will be Becky's biggest thing since WrestleMania.
Yeah. My gripe with Sasha is just, like, everybody seems to fucking think she's the greatest thing to ever happen to women's wrestling. It's like, no, surprised. She's not even, like, in the top 10 best wrestlers in the fucking WWE. And I still stand by that comment. But at least now...
She might be in the top 10 of the female wrestlers.
No, I'm talking about females. I can think of all of WWE, Becky, Asuka, Charlotte, Io Shirai, Bayley.
Okay, yeah.
And then right up the top 5, I'll put Sasha there.
All right.
I'll put Kairi Sane,
right.
Natalya. There's 7 better than her. And then I'll go Sasha. That's in WWE. Okay. And if you want to start filtering in
top 5, but in the top 10 I got.
But if you want,
good golly, that's in
WWE.
Yeah.
If you want to start bringing in AEW and Impact Wrestling talent, I don't even know if she's in the top 10 anymore. Where you throw in Tessa Blanchard.
Yeah, you throw in Tessa Blanchard.
Jordan Grace. You throw in Britt Baker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. If you start going,
So, like that's kind of my big gripe against Sasha is I feel she was overrated in the same sense that I feel Peyton Manning is overrated. She's not bad, but the fans make her seem better than what she really is. She's the literal overrated term. But I like the segment. I like
Alexa Bliss. I mean,
yes,
she's not the most talented, but she has all that charisma, and she gets the fan.
I feel like Sasha is more talented in the ring than Alexa.
Oh goodness, yes. I would, yes, without a doubt, yes.
But that's like it was a good segment. They did a swerve, but they did a swerve in the correct way. And this is a good storyline for Becky, who's in desperate need of a good storyline.
She's got a good villain to play off of.
The one thing I will concede, I really enjoyed this, how they just pretty much let Becky kind of sort of be the villainess against Natalya because you knew her Canadian country folk were going to be on her side, so it's like, why not just make Becky... Why not just use her in that role? So I thought that was something that was really well done leading up to SummerSlam.
They kind of did the whole, she went to save Natalya too, so it was kind of the whole, I don't hate you or anything.
They didn't completely turn her, but like in every interview,
right?
Becky was clearly not the likable person from an objective point of view, but from I'm a Becky fan point of view, yeah.
Right. I could say every now and again I could say the same thing about Steve Austin back in the day. It's like you're kind of a jerk, but nobody cares because everybody likes you. It's like
so. This is probably Sasha at the best she's been since her main roster debut when inexplicably turned her into a heroine. Right. But I'm optimistic about
Becky
this program
because Batman's nothing without the Joker. You got to have a villain up to your level to play off of if you're gonna. For a good story.
But the thing is just Becky's gonna probably pwn her so many times.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
It could be very reminiscent of Shawn versus Undertaker, where Shawn was just getting the better, or not Shawn versus Undertaker. I'm sorry, Shawn versus Hulk Hogan.
Oh.
Where Shawn was just getting the better of Hogan every fucking week, and you're like, yeah, this is getting sad.
Right. And then Hulk Hogan gained superpowers, and Shawn Michaels was flying hither and yon. Anyway, a story for another time.
You don't remember anything else but that match other than Shawn Michaels. So it proves one thing: Shawn can still be an asshole when he wants to be, and two, Shawn also knows how to steal the show. Would you remember that? Would you remember that match had Shawn just been low key?
Not really. No, not in the notoriety.
But Shawn doing that in there. That's why we still talk about this match and still want to watch it.
How they put it? Famous for all the wrong reasons.
Yes.
The women's tag titles were actually defended, so I guess we'll call Alexa and Nikki fighting champions. They fought the Kabuki Warriors. Unfortunately, they won. So. But yeah, that happened. So there's not much else to say. There was no real shenanigans. They won. Yeah, they're buddies. The champions versus champion match happened. There was a DQ because the OC couldn't keep their nose out of business.
It wasn't a bad match, but I guess I was pumped.
Meant to go to
I was pumped up and probably expected too much while watching Raw.
You forgot you were watching Raw.
I forgot I was watching Raw.
I'm not a favorite.
Yeah, exactly.
So Ricochet came down to try to help because he's still got some beef with AJ. Obviously, the OC didn't not interfere, at all in that match.
Right.
But the two of them couldn't get it done against three people because numbers. So Braun Strowman showed up and cleaned house.
I think instead of losing to Ricochet, I think AJ may drop the U.S. title to Braun.
It does seem that way, doesn't it?
Yeah. But still, I don't want to keep fan fictioning myself into an unsatisfiable corner because it's the WWE. But I really feel like, and this with all due respect to the U.S. title, I really feel like AJ's got bigger fish to fry as the lead villain on Raw.
Rollins does need a challenger. Who's going to challenge him? They pretty well made it clear it's not going to be Brock Lesnar.
AJ needs to be the fucking champion.
AJ seems like it's good. Yeah, a pretty good choice. They got to wrap up this other stuff first, but then he can go after Rollins. What is Rollins going to do in the meantime? They didn't really say, did they? That's kind of disconcerting. Well, hey, we haven't seen Baron Corbin on TV since...
Shut your mouth! Just shut up! Just shut the fuck up! He's going to be in the King of the Ring tournament, but just shut the fuck up.
Shane fined Kevin Owens $100,000 for his attack on Elias. I want $100,000. I'll be Elias. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, and that had relevance on nothing, basically. Somehow he wasn't fired.
Our desire for money.
Yeah.
That's where that has the relevance.
Somehow KO didn't get disqualified for essentially purposely taking out the referee in that match. Not Elias, but the referee in that one. But whatever. Whatever.
Oh, no, it's late and I'm tired.
Charlotte Flair, she beat Trish at SummerSlam, which...
Good match.
Yes.
Trish still has it.
Especially considering all the factors. Oh man, I got real scared for just a split minute before she did that Frankensteiner out of the corner that she was going to put super power. I was like, no! It's like they're going to die.
That was a damn good match. And, hey, WWE, you brought a legend back to help someone.
See, they did one of each in this show that was
Ah!
It was bad.
Ironically, the Canadian lost in her home country.
Well, you know.
But Goldberg, the legend.
WWE having somebody lose in their hometown or country?
Not since Bret Hart tapped like a little puppy dog bitch with his own finishing maneuver in Montreal. And if some certain Canadian that's been on this show before sees this, but if some certain Canadian who sees this hears me say that, I stand by it. Some Canadian who's been on this show. Bret Hart tapped out to Shawn Michaels in Montreal. Because he's not as good as Shawn. Watch out for the fan. That's an MJF joke. I went a little too far, went a little too long with that one.
So, Ember Moon lost at SummerSlam and Charlotte defeated her, which kind of makes sense. So, I mean, at least, it wasn't
a little disappointed because I like Ember Moon. Ember Moon better than Sasha Banks. I'll put that one on there.
Yeah, I agree. I saw Ember and Asuka's feud. I saw the Ember Moon that we just haven't really.
I saw the Ember Moon and the Asuka that we both want to see.
Yeah. Roman Reigns fought Buddy Murphy. This is the funniest thing, this whole story, because it wasn't meant to be a story, and then the internet saw him in the shot. He wasn't really supposed to be there and speculated, so they're just like, that's a good idea. Why not? So, Buddy freaking Murphy finally got a story by accident.
And he's also being used as fodder to keep that dog!
Well, I mean...
Did I expect anything else?
That's part of the contract of going to SmackDown, right?
Yeah.
I mean... He got TV time and he got to hang in there with him for a bit.
The downside is, they should have done this with Paul London when they caught him smiling during the whole Vince McMahon storyline.
Oh, jeez.
And two,
I totally did that, though. I totally was like, it was London. He was the only one smiling.
Yeah.
I mean...
But see, it was a good match. I'm not gonna, my dislike of Roman Reigns aside, I'm not gonna just be a complete player hater and go like, anything that Roman Reigns did is a bad match. It was a good match. Buddy Murphy, who, it was even said, has the biggest upside on the SmackDown roster right now, was used as fodder to just keep this failed experiment continuing. But hey, whatever. Still a good match.
Samoa Joe beat Samoa Joe beat Owens because of Elias. Shenanigans.
I guess Owens is going into a fucking feud with Elias now, even though
Hey, on the bright side, for once Samoa Joe pinned somebody with a surprise roll-up.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
The New Day took on the Revival, and then Randy Orton joined in, so all of the New Day took on the Revival and Randy Orton.
It was a good little match.
The Revival and Randy Orton won.
RKO's,
man.
I think it wasn't a great match. It was a good, okay little TV match. It keeps the Kofi storyline going. It gives the Revival something to do as they beg and plead with them not to go to AEW, which they still should do.
And that was SmackDown, basically. Orton still feuding with Kofi. Shock, shock, after that ridiculous SummerSlam ending.
Yeah.
And that was the week in wrestling, essentially.
Yep, that was everything.
A lot of things that happened.
Big week. Big.
The shows weren't
big week.
Like, bad. I mean, Raw still has those weird points where you're like,
Raw was a better show than SmackDown this week.
Yeah.
That's a shock, but it's true. So.
It's also shocking because there were a lot of segments where nothing really happened on Raw, but they had their pacing good, I guess,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And Elias is still a champion. He's finally held a title for long. He's finally, gone into the next day as a champion in the WWE. So, good for Elias. Elias to me is like the perfect example of you can still be entertaining and not be that great in the ring. And I'm not trying to be a dick by saying that, but like you can be kind of in the ring, but have an act and an aura and everything else bring you up.
Especially in WWE.
Yeah.
Especially. But pro wrestling in general, there's always been those people that have...
Oh, yeah. But, that is...
I mean, you got your Hogans that, unless they're in Japan, they're kind of phoning it in too, so... I do need to see some stuff in Japan, because I hear...
I have some. We'll watch it sometime.
Okay.
And that is pretty much it for us this week. If you enjoyed this show, please give it a like, give it a share. Please subscribe for more content, not just from the world of pro wrestling, from the world of comics, video games, and all things geek culture. Please go like my Facebook page at facebook.com/athleticgeek89. Go follow me on Twitter, even though I don't tweet that much, at athletic_geek89. And go follow me on Instagram at athleticgeek89. Jedi, unfortunately, has no social media because he's got kids, got a wife. He ain't got time for that kind of bullshit. But if you ever have a message or want to ask the Jedi something, just post it in the comment section below or shoot me a message on one of my social media platforms, and we'll get the message to him. But for Jedi Jason Kruger, I am the Athletic Geek. We are just two marks. We're out. Have a good one.